Welcome back to the conclusion of an epic weekend. We started on Friday with our top 8 playoff. The 8 most consistent players duked it out between themselves to see who is going to be representing Europe at the World Championship. 3 seats were up for grabs. All of those players except Jonas Koschel, who got a ticket for Worlds, played in the main event, and one of them actually, despite having already a ticket to the main event of the World Championship, made it all the way to the top card, where he got kicked out by Jay Quincy, who was another player in the top 8 playoff. So there was this big story going into this weekend about these 8 players. In the end, 4 of these 8 guys made it to the World Championship. There was one guy who was in the way of Jay Quincy, who's going to crush his dream of becoming a European champion. But I'm actually quite sure that Jay Quincy is going to be okay with it, because he's going to be representing the UK at Worlds. We also had the last feature match with Herman Hansen, who is the first ever Nordic country player who's going to be at Worlds. So that's also a story. But now we're in the finals. There's just 2 guys remaining, and they're both from the same country. And if you've been watching the stream, you know 100% where they are from when this crowd is going to go nuts in just a second. So let's bring them in. In the red corner, we got Gabriel Soussi. If you're a frequent watcher of the European streams, you know that there are 2 countries where the players are going to get this kind of applause. That's Italy and France. And to be honest, Marcello, I'm sorry for you, but France takes the cake. France is actually the loudest in the room. How are you feeling going into the finals?
I don't know. Honestly, I don't know. I'm just going to play my game, and I'm going to do my best. I hope it's going to be a beautiful game, and maybe I will win.
All right, you're almost playing the same deck. You said Samir is playing some cards differently. You know each other very, very well, of course. What do you make of your chances in this match?
Sorry?
Your chances, considering you're playing different cards.
I think he has a deck better in the mirror match, but it's only going to be on game 1, because after I can side some cards. And I played the mirror match a lot, so I'm confident. I just hope I won't lose on some power cards that exist. But if I do, then it's the game.
All right, it's part of the game. You seem very nervous, so I'm not going to ask you any more questions. However, guys, can we hear it one more time for Gabriel Soussi in the finals? All of these guys are rooting for you. Please have a seat. Don't be nervous. His opponent has the advantage that he has been here before. Not just in the finals, he has won a European Championship before, 3 years ago, and it was quite the moment to remember. He came out of the feature match area and suddenly he was flying because all of his friends were throwing him up in the air and shouting one big name, Samir, Samir. This is Samir Bachar in the finals. This is madness. Samir, how are you feeling? You're back in the finals of a European Championship. You could be the first player to win the European Championship twice.
Yes, I'm happy if I realize, honestly.
Are you nervous, or do you think you have this? Are you nervous, or do you think, yes, I'm going to win this?
Yes, I got the win.
Okay, Samir is feeling very confident. We just heard from Gabriel. He says he thinks your deck is better in game number 1. Do you also think that you got the right choice for this weekend, your deck?
Yes, I think it's a good choice. Finally, I playing this deck just because like the mechanic of this deck, and I remarking for playing this deck is the best choice.
All right. So guys, give it up one more time for Samir Bachar. Please have a seat. Okay, you are playing the same deck, so it's fair to assume that the die roll is somewhat important. So let's please roll the die to see who goes first. Got 2 dice. Gabriel's got a 9. That's less, that's an 8. Gabriel gets to choose. I guess you're going to go first? Yes. Gabriel wants to go first. Guys, one more time, give it up for France, give it up for Samir, and give it up for Gabriel, please. The stage has been set. Let's take it to Daniel Neville and Marcello Barbarian commentary.
I didn't think we could have a more excited match, but you have heard it from the French fans in the audience. The first European finals with 2 French players. It is a pure mirror match. France versus France, Salamangreat versus Salamangreat. This is all going to come down to skill.
This is absurd. All I can say is, je suis Marcelo. I mean, that's pretty much it. It is such a good chance here. France, I love France. I actually have a house in France. I usually go there during the summer in Nice. So I love French players. I love their attitude. Samir, most of them, is just always bringing a smile to the stream. It is great. France this year really took it.
I mean,
they had the biggest national ever held in Europe. And now at the biggest European championship, 2 French players in the finals.
Exactly. At the start of today, I remember coming out from the staff area and I was met with a host of French players singing the national anthem. And I was like, this is going to be a special day. And here they are to show us the height of European Yu-Gi-Oh! To show us that Salamangreat is potentially the best deck of the format. I mean, one way or another,
it is.
It's going to win.
It is confirmed, and once again, we had a lot of stories for the weekend, but it all comes down to this. We had plenty of records going on. This is the biggest event, and Samir might be the first person in the history of this game winning the European Championship twice.
Absolutely insane.
Unbelievable.
The players are ready. We're ready. We hope you're ready.
Who
the
wants to get this?
Ready.
Let's see who will get this trophy, and let's go to the table.
So in Salamangreat, in the past few months, there has been a great debate. Flame Buffalo or Lady Debug? And that is one that we can answer today because Gabriel is playing the Debug, Samir playing the Buffaloes. They have the handshake, the crowd goes wild, everybody is ready. What do you think of this matchup?
It is going to be very close. As we were saying, they're both maining a different version of the deck. Samir is maining Super Poly, which is the best card you can have here. And right now, I don't think he has drawn into an end shop, which will be a huge thing, while the end for Gabriel is looking quite nice here. So
yeah, Phantasme and Permanence, both really good to see here. While he is not playing a Super Polymerization in his deck, Gabriel does have access to Fusion of Fire, which is super impactful and can mean that this is going to be an explosive Salamangreat mirror, something that we have not seen much of this weekend as players decided to cut polymerizations and fusions.
So Pot of Desires comes down, very bold move. He could have just waited with the circle, I feel like, but he didn't want to banish all of his Gazelle, and now let's see what he picks up and what he ends up banishing, really.
And we have 2 very different decks here. Pot of Desires, again, we discussed this on Saturday, I believe, where it's such a strong card, particularly playing into combo decks, but it is not ideal in this sort of mirror match unless you can get access to a lot of pressure. Will the Salamangreat being picked up, a card which has fallen in and out of favor, but I believe both of these players have been looking at playing it.
Yes, very good opening here from Gabriel. He will be able to end up on a very good board. Ghost Ogre is something that you don't really want to see in this matchup, but here he has quite some different lines. He could have also went for a very weird one where he used Will and then normal summon Ghost Ogre, but he's going to play around Entrops here. Yeah. Unfortunately, Samir has no Entrop at all, so this will be a very easy turn 1 from Gabriel.
Yeah, Samir's hand is not bad. He will be able to set up, but if Gabriel is able to establish an Abyss Dweller, he is going to have a major edge because the graveyard is so important for these decks. But he is checking to make sure he knows which cards are banished.
Yeah, he will not be able to go for it right now. That's why I was thinking with the other greedier lines where you're actually normal summon Ogre, but it is still the usual opening we've seen.
I think you have to respect the possibility of interaction in this mirror match. They are both playing a lot of hand traps, as I mean, that is what Salamangreat lets you do.
They are, and this Desires was really good. It did not banish anything relevant at all. I think maybe there was a Roar, but Sanctuary is still there, Jaguar is still there, so very good Desires from Gabriel.
Yeah, and this is something we see time and time again. A lot of players avoiding committing their Salamangreat Sanctuary to the board until they get to an important swing turn. where they can go into a Heatleo. We do see a Fusion of Fire in Gabriel's hand, which could be very important.
Yes, the main difference in their decks is that Gabriel is maining Fusion of Fire, Samir is maining Super Poly, but after game 1 they will both have all of the copies in their deck, so it will be interesting to see.
Yeah, the important thing here, playing around Mech Knights, always love to see that.
Yeah. Samir forgets that he's playing Yu-Gi-Oh! He picks up a very good poker hand, which is a double pair here with Gazelle and Circle, but...
A 6-card poker hand, so questionably legal,
yeah.
But, you know, it's fine. Signet Mining discarding Circle. That is quite an awkward play. Potentially giving Gabriel information that Samir's hand already contains.
This is really giving away information, because otherwise there is no way you wouldn't circle first to discard something usable with Signet Mining, but now he's able to get the Buffalo, which is also one of the main differences between these two guys, as you were saying.
And this is a card that we are really hot on. We love how good Buffalo can be for this deck, and in this hand that Samir has here, it could turn things around. It will be able to make a Balinx and draw him cards. However, we do expect to see Fantastical Dragon Phantasme coming down to perhaps give Gabriel more points of interaction.
Yes, it does come down. It is potentially gonna get him some hand chops, so let's see.
Shane Salamangreat Circle. Let's go grab another Salamangreat from our deck. We would normally see Gazelle coming out here, but Samir already has 2 in hand.
So he will get the spin or the foul here. He does go for the foul, and let's see the draws from Phantasme. They are Impermanence and Gazelle, okay. Nothing too relevant, but...
No, he gets to put back his Sanctuary, though, which he will be able to search when he makes the Balinx on his next turn. And we see Sanctuary and Foul being added to Samir's hand.
Somewhat on a upfield battle here for Samir, it seems like, but he is maining Super Poly, so he might just draw into Super Poly here, and these draws are gonna be very important.
Yeah. Discarding Jack Jaguar
draws
draw
the
Super
Poly here.
And a Ghost Ogre and Snow Rabbit. By the looks of things, that is going to be a card that can really turn this match around. There is an Impermanence, however, which will be able to reduce the attack of the Violet Chimera back down to its base values. So Gabriel is definitely very much in this, and it could be a massive mistake if Samir commits to the Super Polymerization, because then he will be open to the Fusion of Fire.
Surely, and at the same time, though, he has quite enough to force his opponent negations and then use Super Poly as the last card. So definitely a huge pickup here.
Yeah, this is going to be a very busy turn as the players really try to outplay each other and thwart the other's plans.
Yes, also they both draw Ghost Ogre, which is there for the other matchups. They have actually, we can agree that it was the correct decision for both. They both got to the finals maining Ghost Ogre, which is something we have not really seen in Salamangreat before. And it was here before of Thunder and Sky Striker, I'd say.
Yeah. An awesome thing about Ghost Ogre is we know that in one of the upcoming products, we actually have alternate artworks for Ghost Ogre and the similar hand traps, which is going to be very cool. Those were shown on the Yu-Gi-Oh! Blog just a few days ago.
Okay, now we're getting some plays. Do you think he's going to try and force his opponent in back rows? Let's see.
I mean, you just try and play through everything and then apply as much damage as you can potentially with the Salamangreat, or with the Super Polymerization. Salamangreat Foul coming down in response to the summon of Sunlight Wolf. Gabriel is thinking. He's looking at his back row. He has an Infinite Impermanence, a Will of the Salamangreat, and a Salamangreat Circle set. Only one of those is actually live, but it doesn't matter because having so many cards set face down applies a lot of pressure to your opponent. Samir decides to summon the Foul in neither of the zones.
Yeah, and I'm surprised he didn't go for the Stallion, and he might just be playing against what his opponent has, and he's having a good read at the moment, so. He played this way, probably even to play around the possible Ghost Ogre for Gabriel, which is gonna be completely useless at this point, because there is already a Balinx in both players' graveyards, so.
Yeah. I mean, you can definitely just burn the Ghost Ogre in order to reduce the options that your opponent has. We see Jack Jaguar summoning. Samir will have access to the Abyss Dweller, which we have seen to be such a crucial part of the Salamangreat deck, and why it does so well at this event. If it goes first against decks like Thunder Dragon, Abyss Dweller can be very clutch.
So now he gets back the Spinny, and he's gonna use the foul to actually target one of Gabriel back rows, trying and stun it with foul. I think Gabriel actually led it, because it seems like Samir is continuing his plays.
And foul again, such a good problem solver. The Salamangreat deck just has so many cards that offer a toolbox of abilities.
Yeah, and it is also not once per turn, so
suddenly Samir's hand of multiple Salamangreat cards becomes quite valuable.
Yeah, the only thing here is that if he get back the Spinny with the Wolf, he will not be able to summon it.
There is so much anticipation in the crowd. They are glued to the screen, wondering who will become the European champion.
That's
2019.
what we are telling them. Yeah, as we were saying, the Spinny was added back from the Wolf. So as we were saying, you cannot summon it later on. So Samir definitely should have gone for Spinny first, and now he's locked out of it.
Yeah. Not the time in the tournament to misplay.
Absolutely, a little bit of a misplay here from Samir, still in this game completely. Let's see if he will be able to push here.
Heat Leo targeting the Will of the Salamangreat. Gabriel is going to let that return to the deck, which means he will be able to negate the reincarnate linked Heat Leo.
I think his hand is good enough. Like if he just reincarnates Heat Leo, spins the other back row, then he can try and go for the OTK. At the same time, the Phantasmi is a little awkward because the second effect from Heat Leo does target, so...
Nope, he is just going on the offensive, attacking that Salamangreat Sunlight Wolf, potentially afraid of the Salamangreat counter trap. But Balinx is going to banish, protect the Sunlight Wolf. This is not doing
Yeah,
much
as
here.
we were saying, he had a completely different line where he could have gone for Stalio first, then forced the back row, and actually he had the OTK through a lot of options, because if the Stalio bounced back the Phantasmi, then I'm pretty sure Samir had the game on board.
Yeah. Here comes Hita. Hita is going to be able to activate to summon a monster from the graveyard back to Samir's field. Does not seem like the optimum time to be using this effect. Hita is very valuable in this matchup.
But Ghost Ogre, it's since he needs to summon to a zone, it will not be able to resolve. But Samir gets a search. Though it seems like this one will be Gabriel game, even though the odds were in favor of Samir. At the same time, though, let's not forget about Super Poly.
It does have a very high impact when it resolves. It will let Samir break a board that Gabriel establishes, but he's definitely in the driver's seat here. Activating Circle. He will be able to add a foul to his hand, letting him to extend his plays in this upcoming turn.
Let's see what he's gonna pick up here.
Draw.
Will of the Salamangreat. Wow.
He has everything. He can just go as far or as short as he likes.
He knows at the same time, as we were saying, these guys are friends. He knows that Samir is playing Super Polymerization, so I'm pretty sure he will play around it and seal this game here.
Yeah.
Very well played here. Since he tributed the foul, the Super Poly is not even able to be chained. And I think we're gonna see Gabriel actually locking this game down.
Yeah. Samir says, Gazelle is A-okay, friend. And this is the strength of cards like Pot of Desires, being able to generate that extra advantage to seal out the games early, because if this sort of matchup goes long, then
It is definitely, as you were saying, a back and forth one. And we gotta keep in mind that, as we were saying, the only back row is still the Super Poly. He cannot use it, so it is very easy here for Gabriel to actually win the game.
yeah, exactly. He is going to be able to put out a lot of damage this turn and really seal up game one.
Yeah, the only card he has to play around is the Ghost Ogre in Samir's hand. He does not have any other hand shop, so it seems like this game is very easy here. Couldn't actually Samir use the Ogre there, though.
Definitely could have considered it.
I don't think there was another Balinks in Graveyard, so the Will was probably one of the better targets, but maybe he's just giving it away to his opponent that he does not have something else. He was trying to bluff to stay alive here. It is gonna be tough.
We see another Balinks coming out. Grabbing the Sanctuary. I feel like we've seen the Sanctuary being searched from the deck a lot so far.
Also, let's not forget that if there is still doubt on what's better between the Buffalo and the actually Lady Debug, they are both playing the Update Jammer Transcode combo, which is something that was not popular at all in Salamangreat. These guys both using it.
Exactly. I mean, this is such a different build to what we have been seeing at events like the North American WCQ, and even what people were expecting to see played at this event. And it's fascinating to see how well it has performed. Both of these guys are on similar techs, even if they have gone in slightly different directions, and clearly it has paid off. Again, Samir is trying to be the first ever two-time European champion.
Not looking good for him in this game, but it is still a huge match. And here we're seeing the Update Jammer once more. The card being as relevant as it ever was this match. And the transcode comes down. The Ghost Ogre, though, is there.
There's still a lot of damage.
This is so close, actually. It seems like he's getting a little greedier with his plays, and now Samir is actually still back in this somehow.
As they would say, the pressure is getting to the young novice, you know? Just he needs to make sure that he can handle himself in the feature match area. We had him on for the last round, but Samir has a lot more experience here.
Absolutely. The favorite walking into this match must be Samir. It is just such a good player. I know he played a lot of events, topped a lot of them, and Gabriel just trying to show him that the new wave of players from France are actually just as good as the old ones.
Possibly even better. We'll find out this match. Salamangreat Sanctuary coming down. Gonna reincarnate Link, the Heat Leo.
Wow, and now quite an heads-up play here from Gabriel, using it offensively. A Fusion of Fire is gonna come down, and this should be enough to seal the game.
For sure, that is a lot of damage.
A lot of damage, and shake. Game one goes to Gabriel. Wow, what a show. You must actually understand that these guys knows the in and outs for the decks. And now we're gonna go to the game two.
Major back and forth that game. Gabriel won the die roll, was able to secure the game. The crowd are cheering. They are excited to see their French European champion for 2019. There they go.
And now,
what a show. So,
we're gonna be back and entertaining our crowd. At the same time, we're gonna go and try and look at their side decks.
I mean, in the pre-match interview, Gabriel said, I don't think I'm favored game one, but game two that he expected to be in the driver's seat with favorable side deck cards. What do you expect to see coming in here?
We're probably gonna see very similar decks, but I gotta say that now the words are less important. You can see the crowd actually going crazy. Let's enjoy this beautiful moment up here. So, as things settle down, our players are almost ready for game two. they are gonna have very similar side decks, and it means that the Super Polys and Fusion of Fires are gonna be in both these players' deck. In the end,
Exactly.
we saw Super Poly not mattering for Samir, I guess.
Yeah, it seemed like a very awkward hand for Samir. Opening a lot of monster cards, and none of his pieces of interaction is not where he wants to be. He wanted to see the hand traps that game, but it was too little, too late. He was not able to get set up before Gabriel was able to run away, Fusion of Fire his way to game. Let's see what Samir can do in this game 2.
It is gonna be even closer now, and I'm expecting nothing less than what we've seen in previous round this weekend. This has been one of the most back and forth events so far. We had a lot of games going to time, a lot of games actually taken into the game 3 and not really having much time between one round and another. So it is still either of these guys' game. So
100%. Both can take it. Both are so skilled. They have come so far. The French community have been absolutely amazing this weekend, being the second most represented country at this event. Major upset. We're usually used to seeing Italy, like you pointed out, but these guys, they are showing us that the European scene is going to be experiencing a major
absolutely. For anyone underestimating them, there were 2 French players in the playoffs. There are 2 French players still guaranteed to be at the World Championship.
We have 2 French players, 2 Germans, 1 from the UK, 1 from the Netherlands, and 1 from Sweden, all representing us at the World Championships, but there can only be 1 European champion. So let's go to game 2, and we will see if Samir can take it again, or if Gabriel will get the European champion title.
We saw part of the stars in both of these players, and I do believe that Samir actually drew into his artifact scythe, which would actually be very bad for him since he did draw the scythe and double desires. Oh my!
Oh, that is not the sort of hand you want to see.
Absolutely looking like it is a very rough opening. If an Ash Blossom was dropped here, Samir would pass on the spot. Wow, such an unfortunate opening, and
that is a painful hand to see. Seeing the double desires forces you to use 1, but you don't get any benefits because of the fact that you already have desires in hand.
And now we're gonna see a blowout from Gabriel. He does have the impermanence. He will be able to stop the only play that Samir has available to him, which is this Gazelle.
Yeah.
This could actually be a lot faster than we thought.
The Gazelle comes down. He says, is this okay? Infinite impermanence, negating the effect.
Wow.
Samir is going to have to try and defend himself. Hope that he can trick Gabriel into destroying the artifact monster early in the turn to be able to get back round to himself. Thankfully, he has not banished his Sanctuary, so he will be able to search that off the Baelinks. But he's going to be struggling to find...
It is very tough here. There are some spots for mind games where, as you were saying, he goes and set the artifact site, and he hopes that his opponent is going to destroy it with the Nightmare Phoenix or any side deck cards, really. But it is looking like Samir is struggling a lot here.
Yeah, I mean, this is not the hand that you want to see when you are trying to win game 2 to get back into the match here at the European Championship. He is thinking a lot. He does not seem terribly happy with this hand.
Don't you think it might have been better to actually use the Will to special summon Gazelle? That way he could have normal Ash and still continue to play it from there.
Yes, he'll still get to summon the Gazelle and go into a Sunlight Wolf, but that doesn't do much.
This is not that good. He's really hoping that his opponent is going to destroy his artifact site, but Gabriel hand is looking amazing at the moment.
Exactly. Set aside. Go ahead, sir. Draw for turn. Super polymerization.
Oh my
the
God,
Sunlight
what a
Wolf
draw here.
is
Super
not
Poly
helping.
is even drawn by Gabriel and is looking like it is gonna be his game. Let's see how he pilots this. The only chance that Samir has, this set card is gonna be destroyed somehow.
Here comes the Falco. Into Baelinks. Gonna search off Baelinks. He still has the desires. There are going to be a lot of cards going to and fro in Gabriel's hand this turn.
He surprisingly didn't use the Gazelle, and now he's gonna be able to go for the Sanctuary.
He is going to summon another Baelings. The Gazelle will be able to see this if he wants to special summon it from his hand. What is he afraid of here?
Yeah, he's probably playing around a possible Rage from his opponent. It does make sense, but as we can see, it is actually an Artifact site, so this will be no responses at all from Samir outside of the Ash Blossom, which it is in his hand right now. So
Sure.
Ash Blossom comes down. What is this part of the Tsar is gonna draw?
Let's find out. Gonna make sure that the deck is properly shuffled from the search of the Salamangreat Baelings. And then banish 10, draw 2. This could be the game.
These are the most important draws for the Gabriel Day. Let's see what he gets here. It doesn't seem like he banished too much. He gets an Ash Blossom and another Ash Blossom, so not what he was looking for here.
No, that does not add to your ability to end the game.
So the game is still far from being over. It could be just thanks to the super polymerization. Very tough, and still a game on our ends.
100%. We're going to have to see what he decides to do. He summons Falco, returning Gazelle to his hand. He is then going to link summon his own Salamangreat.
And we might see a
Sunlight
Nightmare
Wolf.
Phoenix here, actually.
Heater coming down. This is a nice play.
Luckily it is, yeah. And
Yeah,
now
Phoenix would be very unfortunate.
it would have been, but now this is a very good move. He will be able to deny the Baelings from Samir, attacking over the Silent Wolf, and
For
in main
50
phase
damage.
2, go for the It Leo to spin back the Sanctuary, cutting off all of Samir's plays at the moment.
100%, and that's a really nice line. And you can see how he got here, being able to, even under all this pressure, still find good plays.
So now he's using a Sanctuary effect. It seems like Gabriel really using it twice on stream this weekend, something that we have not seen yet, but he will be able to gain some life points this way. And main phase 2, I would be very surprised if we didn't see an It Leo. The Baelings should go to the graveyard of Samir.
So Heat Leo targeting the Will of the Salamangreat, shuffling it back into the deck. There is only an Artifact site, which is not going to protect Samir here. He needs to draw something good. And unfortunately, because he's set the site, it means even if he draws a Fantastical Dragon Phantasme...
Yeah, they should put the Baelings in Samir graveyard at this point. We're fixing it right now, and it shouldn't change too much. What is Samir drawn into? Is it a Buffalo? I think it is. Not what he wanted to see. This is looking tough. It is looking like Gabriel is gonna take this match.
I feel like we've seen this play from Samir before this weekend. Set buffer low, say go. Gabriel has a hand of triple Ghost, or Ash Blossom and Joyous Spring.
He
Plus
throws
a
the
Gazelle.
third Ash Blossom. This is actually getting quite ridiculous on his side, but still in a very comfortable spot. It is looking like we won't be seeing a two-time European champion, but it is soon to judge. Imagine if the side is pinned back here.
Yes, spinning back to the side here would be massive. Samir has to shuffle back. It is not the side.
Unfortunately, the Sanctum is shuffled back, which means that it is looking like Gabriel might be able to just swing with the game. He has a super polymerization still on his field, which is really all he needs to actually go for a game once he has cleared Samir resources. Let's see if he sees the line.
Gazelle is coming down. What are you expecting him to send off this Gazelle?
It depends on what he has in graveyard at the moment, but if he was cut off, it's a Spinny for sure. Yeah.
Spinny allowing him to extend his plays. This is getting really intense. It looks like Samir is just stuck. He's smiling at the camera.
Yeah, Samir always smiling. We know him. He smiles when he's winning. He smiles when he's losing. Is just such a cheerful person, and I'm very happy for him that he is representing Europe once more. But let's see if the young one is gonna actually take his title now.
what do you feel as you are playing your match to become the European champion?
For anyone knowing me very well, I do not get nervous in future matches, but go back and watch how I was feeling when I went mine. Even though I was guaranteed already, I had my hands in the end. And it's probably what we're gonna see here from Gabriel. It seems like he knows what he's doing. He has played very well throughout the match. And it seems like he knows that he's only a few moves away from actually not playing anymore this weekend, because there is no more duels to be won.
Exactly. He is keeping cool and collected, and he is going to try and make sure that he cannot lose this match. 2-0 against a former French European champion would be quite a way to become one yourself.
If anyone was doubting him in this match, he's proving all of you guys wrong. Gabriel is not here because of luck. He is here because he is one of the better players in the room, and he's about to take down Samir and claim his title. France is gonna claim it either way, but how often do you say that he's gonna win the triple Ash Blossom in his end event? This is absolutely crazy, but maybe now we're gonna see the Phoenix.
Oh no!
So there is still a chance here, still a chance for Samir somehow. If this comes down, he gets the site back, and you can see Samir actually not believing this.
Phoenix hits the site. Site is going to activate in the graveyard.
Oh my, we still have a game on our hands.
Gabriel
Wow.
cannot respond to this, but he will be able to super polymerization in response to the fact that he has the
But the
counter
roar
trap.
is flipped, and Gabriel is our new champion. What a game, what a match.
2-0 versus a former European champion. Two French players making it to the pinnacle of European Yu-Gi-Oh! Going to represent us at the World Championship. The French players in the audience have gone wild. You can't even see them on camera because they're all over at the stage waiting to congratulate Gabriel.
Everyone is jumping out, everyone is going crazy. This was such an incredible event. Vive la France, and I don't know what to say anymore. It was such a good match, such a good day. And let's go back to us real quick for the final post-match discussion.
Largest European event ever. The French came, they saw, and they conquered. These guys are walking away, not only qualified for Worlds, but as first and second place at the European Championship.
Absolutely, we are here in Utrecht. We were here 2 years ago. Then we get here on Friday. We have the top 8 players from Europe with the most points for a whole season. These guys were back and forth playing regionals, YCSs, national championships, and the 8 best players were there fighting through their way to go to Berlin this August. At the end, it was Joshua Smith, Jonas Koschel, and Raphael Neven.
All household names in the European community. 2 Germans, 1 local Dutch player. But on top of that, today, after 2 days of Swiss rounds going into a top cut, we see 1 UK player, Jake Quincy. We see Herman from Sweden. And now we also see Samir and Gabriel from France, who will be representing us at the World Championship. I think we have one strong roster from Europe.
A huge roster. We saw a very good roster at WCQ. But now, guys, you should fear Europe as well. We have some very good players sending over to Germany, where we will be playing in August later on this year. It was, as you were saying, 2 intense, if not 3 intense days of dueling. We had 11 rounds with top 64, a lot of champions, a lot of past years European champions. This is actually unbelievable. It was almost the end of a fairy tale for Samir, who was about to become a 2-time European champion, something that we have never seen here or in any event all over the world.
I know, it is like insane. And at the same time, he can't be sad with coming second place and losing to such a good player in the finals. These guys were great. They are chatting to each other. Great sportsmanship going on.
And once more claiming France. It was probably, I gotta admit, the underdog walking into this event. what a shame, because they were the biggest national in Europe ever for the game, and now there were three French players for the first time ever in the finals. It is not anymore the underdog. It is probably the favorite at this point.
French Yu-Gi-Oh! Is growing and growing fast, and if this is what we see at the European Championship, what can we expect to see at Ghent in September, and then at whatever YCSs we have following that in the season?
Content. We have a lot going on. We had, as we were saying, a lot of creators, a lot of, even we had the Zulu future match in day one. I was about to
Ladies.
say. Harpy Ladies is one of those guys that really is getting the game back into France. He's a YouTuber with over 120,000 subs.
Absolutely insane.
We saw it yesterday. So France, really, really congrats to you again. It is very refreshing to see that. For me, as you were saying, I gotta say sorry to my Italians. Maybe you should step up your game, because I'm not going back anytime soon. For now, I'm sticking to this table, but maybe we'll see in the future if I need to actually change what I'm doing. You can be proud as well, because UK had a spot, so I think that our players are gonna be ready for this round. Of course, there is no winner interview, but there is even better. There is a prize ceremony.
Exactly.
Our players are gonna get their beautiful trophies. You saw the winner one before the round.
They're absolutely amazing. In the past, we've had a globe on top. Get out of here, the world, because now we have a Blue Eyes White Dragon on the top of the trophy. Absolutely amazing.
All I want to say is thank you everyone for watching. Thank you, Daniel, and all the other co-commentators for the weekend. Thanks everyone and all the judges and all the production team that's behind us. So now let's just go back to Oliver for one more time and the prize ceremony.
Welcome back on the main event stage for one last time at the largest European Championship of all time. Speaking of our production team, these guys just gave credit to them. I have to give credit to them as well. They got the trophies out. We're ready for the award ceremony 2 seconds after the match has concluded. What an event it was. We got 80 here from Konami. He must be happy with how this event went down, right?
Absolutely ecstatic. It's been an incredible year, and final, it's been incredible.
Absolutely, and we got 4 more representatives after Friday that we are going to be sending to the World Championship in Berlin to represent us there. So let's bring them all in. Our first semi-finalist, Herman Hansen, the first ever Nordic country player representing us at Worlds. Please, this is your spotlight, Herman. Herman, of course, is going to get the trophy to remember this forever. He's going to get a set of prize cards, 2 prize cards, one for you, one for your friend. It's like double or nothing, basically. And you're going to be at Worlds. Are you going to crush Worlds?
Yeah, for sure.
So it's going to be up for the Nordic countries. Give it up for Sweden, please. Thank you very much. Our second semi-finalist of the weekend, you know him. He's from the UK, Jake Quincy. Congratulations. Jake had to overcome ridiculous odds this weekend. Went to the top 8 playoff, didn't quite work out there, didn't give up, came back for the main event, and went all the way to the top 4. And I think you're not even mad that you got kicked out in the semi-finals.
No, I'm not. I'm really happy to have come this far. If you look at the odds from me, there's 3 spots for Worlds on the Friday out of 8, and then there's only 4 out of 1,900. Then you know which one is easier to do. Well, yeah, I can't believe I did it in the second part.
So congratulations again. Please give it up for Jake from the UK. And now in the finals, it just went down. What a match we saw between these 2 juggernauts. We thought Samir was the favorite going into it. In the end, it didn't quite work out for him. But still, please give it up. A big, big hand for Samir Bachar. Congratulations, Samir. I know you're sad it's not the 2-time European Championship for you. Samir always looks like a champion, even if he doesn't win the event. Congratulations. We're going to see you at Worlds again. I heard you're going to take Pendulum to Worlds. Is that going to be true?
Yes.
Yes, okay. So Samir is going to bring Pendulum to Worlds. Well, you have the experience. You have been at the World Championship before. Is it so different from every other tournament, right?
Right.
Do you think that this extra experience is going to make the difference when you're going to be at Worlds again? Do you think it's going to help you?
honestly think I can the difference, the experience of the world, because the first time you go to the world is strange because this event is truly unique. Sorry for this term. And only ironic for the world thinking is much difficult for one world if you go only one time because it is a tournament truly unique.
Thank you very much. Before you go, if you want to thank your friends or greet someone, and please do it in French, it's fine. You can go French this time.
For the end, I can speak French?
Yes.
Bon, bah merci les gars, vous m'avez pas porté l'œil à la fin. Vive Ojama et vive la Bendo!
You guys can tell he's got some experience when it comes to celebrating, but the apprentice overcame the master today, so please give it up for our European champion, Gabriel! Congratulations! Gabriel, you are going to Worlds. That's not news. News is you are the European champion. What does it feel like?
It's awesome. I don't have any words for this, so it's just awesome and I'm happy.
And we actually had to fight your friends off the stage. I'm very sorry for that. I hope nobody got hurt. You went into the finals saying that Samir's got the better deck for the finals. In the end, you prevailed. Just walk us through the finals real quick. The first game, you might have heard, because just from the crowd reaction, Samir did have the super polymerization. Were you shaking? Were you hoping that he didn't have something to stop you?
Actually, I knew that I had 2 times the OTK, 1 time with the transcode and 1 time with the fusion. And I kept the fusion because if he had the super polymerization, I could fusion with his fusion monster and hit any monster he had. So I had 2 times the OTK, so I could not lose.
So it was a big difference for you, of course, playing on the grandest stage of them all. I think in the future, you're going to have the veteran advantage, just like Samir had today. And then I wouldn't be surprised if we see you back at the next YCS, and then you're going to be successful again in the top card.
I hope so.
You hope so. Well, I have a very good feeling about this. So, guys, thank you very much for watching this weekend. I hope you agree that we put on a show for you. We streamed 3 days of Yu-Gi-Oh! Action. And one last time, please give it up for our European champion, Gabriel. Thank you very much. I hope you enjoyed the show. This is the conclusion of the largest European Championship. See you guys very soon in August for the World Championship.